No.
Wake up! On June 10th, 2002, the Jober family were coming back from a family reunion in Beaumont, Texas. They were heading to their home in Fort Worth, Texas, which is about 5 hours away. The father, Israel Jober, did not want to take any breaks because he wanted to be home on time for work at 8 a.m. He ended up falling asleep at the wheel, crashing his car into the back end of an 18-wheeler. Only Israel and one of his children survived. This came from 2006 issue of the Harvard Business Review by editor Bronwyn Fryer in Sleep Deficit, the Performance Killer. I'm telling you this because I want you to understand the importance of sleep and how it affects us in our everyday lives. As college students, we don't get enough sleep, from 8 a.m. classes to midnight deadlines to working while going to school. I myself probably get 6 hours maximum of sleep every night, and I know the difference from waking up peacefully on weekends, waking up scared from our alarms on school days, all drowsy. So by learning about the importance of sleep, I hope we get a better understanding of why you need it. So first I'll talk about why we need sleep. Second, I'll talk about what are the dangers of not having it. And third, I'll give you tips on how to get more sleep. So why do we need sleep? Well, we need sleep because we feel a struggle throughout the day when we don't get enough. This is because when we're sleeping, our body is being rejuvenated and our mind is being repaired. And here's how. When you are asleep, your mind isn't. It's actually repairing itself for the next day by retaining past information and making space for new information for the next day. When you get your recommended 8 hours of sleep, you are less moody, less stressed, and more focused on the task at hand. Sleeping also affects your physical being, because when you're asleep, your heart and blood vessels are being repaired. This means that you'll be able to stand, because you don't get enough sleep. You're walking, you'll be falling. So getting enough sleep helps you with balance as well. Our body also releases many hormones when we sleep, and when we don't get enough, it releases even more, such as insulin, leptin, and sertraline. Sertraline and leptin are both chemicals that, when released, increases your hunger when you're not well rested. I'll talk about insulin later in the speech. The most important thing is sleeping helps us stay healthy, supports growth, and fights off harmful diseases. Alright, we all think we have better things to do than sleep, than watch Netflix or party, but the next day we just end up looking like crap and feeling unmotivated. This could be bad because we can fall asleep in class and forget something. And according to a risk factor servant surveillance system in 2009 by the Centers of Disease Control and Prevention, 43.7 adults fall asleep unintentionally at least once during the month. And it's usually our age group is the biggest. This could be bad if you're trying to make a good impression on an employer or a professor that you want to seem, focused and determined to do what you want to do. So sleep helps stay focused, motivated, increases productivity, and stay energized. So now I just talked to you about why we need sleep, and I'll talk about the dangers of not having it. So losing an hour of sleep a week won't kill you, but losing an hour of sleep a night might. And here's why. It is dangerous to your overall health, and it leads to many diseases such as diabetes, heart disease, high cholesterol, cancer, depression. The one I want to talk about most is obesity. Obesity is the one related most to not sleeping. The reason why is because when we are asleep, as I said, our body releases many hormones. One of these hormones is insulin. When we don't, insulin controls the sugar our body takes in. When we don't get enough sleep, insulin increases. When insulin increases, we develop more fat in order to obtain energy. So it leads to weight gain, which leads to obesity. In 2002, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services in their National Heart, Lung, and Blood Institute gave us a small description of an actual chemical that causes us to gain obesity, which is ghrelin. Ghrelin is a chemical release that makes us hungrier for sweets and carbs when we're not well rested, which also makes us, fat. Okay, so not getting enough sleep is not just dangerous for you, it's dangerous for everyone. Take driving, for example. It's a task that we all do, even if we're, driving one hand or blasting the speakers we're still focused on the road to avoid a collision. So when you don't get enough sleep, you're not ready to get behind the wheel. Right? In the same 2006 issue of the Harvard Business Review, editor Bronwell Fryer in Sleep Deficit, the Performance Killer, said that 80,000 drivers will fall asleep at the wheel every day. 10% of those will be run off the road, and every 2 minutes, someone crashes. Now, imagine, everyone close your eyes. It's 8 a.m. You have an 8 a.m. class. You only have 4 hours of sleep. You're drowsy. You're on the freeway. You can't help yourself. And you just close your eyes for a couple seconds. Then boom!
Oh, fuck. Jeez, man.
You get in a car crash and you die. Alright? This kind of reckless endangerment is selfish and irresponsible. And it can all be avoided with more sleep. What if a person in your car was a family member? Would you allow them in the car when you know you're not ready to drive? Or what if the person you crashed into was a family member? Alright. Now that I talked about dangerous sleep, I'll talk about how we could get more of it other than, sleeping. Alright, now don't get scared. I know I scared you a lot. Just sleep. Don't get scared. There is ways to receive more sleep. These tips come from the Division of Sleep Medicine at the Harvard Medical School. Okay. One of them is exercise. If you don't get enough exercise, from the first speech I did, I don't know if you remember, about around half of you guys exercise. So you all know when you exercise, you get like a little energized after you finish your workout. This is because your body releases endorphins, which makes your heart rate go up and stay energized. So if you work out before going to bed, it's going to take you a while to fall asleep. Alright? So solution, exercise at least 3 hours before going to sleep. And if you don't exercise at all, then this could actually tire you out and put you to sleep. Here's kind of a biological reason why we need sleep. It's called the circadian rhythm, which is our body's internal clock. This is an evolutionary trait that we developed, meaning when there's light out, we're up. When it's dark, we're asleep. Okay? So don't assume that you can get things done at night. You're like, oh, I'm a night owl, I can do everything. No, because you're only going to get 3 hours of sleep and you're going to look like crap tomorrow. So get things done ahead of time. And according to Dr. Stephen Amara from the Harvard Sleep Medicine, he's a Harvard Sleep Medicine psychologist, in his article Healthy Sleep in 2007, said that our body needs to be accustomed to waking up and going to sleep at the same time. Okay. So here we are right here where we wake up, melatonin secretes. Melatonin is what helps us go to sleep. Bowel movement more likely, meaning that when we wake up, you gotta go. And bowel movement stops when we're asleep, so we won't go in our beds. Okay, caffeine, we all drink caffeine in the morning, and it's okay, but when you drink it at night, it gives you a lot of energy, so don't drink it at night. So, I talk about the importance of sleep, the dangers of not having it, and how to get more sleep. So, if you manage your time and follow these simple steps, you'll be sleeping like a baby. Thank you.